Day one in Mexico, we woke up, got dressed, and headed out to Madre Cafe. It was my turn to pick the food. So yeah, I found this quickly on Google. Food near me. They had a cute ambiance for Dia de Muertos. They had like a little altar inside. The restaurant was super cute. I love the architecture. They had a bunch of round like mirrors, doors, etc. Look at Christian, my forever vacation date. Cute sugar skull on the table. I have never had beans with my breakfast, but here we are in Mexico. That's how they do it. The drink was delicious. I tried to take some aesthetic pictures of Christian because he always does that for me. They had the music going up outside. After Madre, we decided to walk around and explore a little bit. We found this super cute door entry, so we had to take pics. Christian and I under the full arch Gothic style. Mexico had a lot of great architecture. I am an architecture girl, and all day I was impressed, like taking pictures, stopping, just taking it all in. Very European. They had a bunch of ofrendas, obviously. Surprisingly, most of them were corporate sponsored. I Capitalism is very insidious. But here we are again, architecture. There were fountains on fountains all through the streets. Very ornate benches, like a feast for the eye. Could not get enough. Some of the fountains were not in perfect working order, but they were doing what they could. Very beautiful and like aesthetically pleasing, just making the street better. Ofrendas. But look at this, if I die, or you know when I die, I want you guys to go up for me like this. Look, they got Fantas, pizzas, yams. You know, it seems like all the stuff you like. Do that for me. Walking around Mexico City, flower stands, magazine stands, just beautiful. I was having a great time, although I was in personal crisis. Look at these. These two got a little too drunk. So it was very refreshing. All of the color everywhere. The celebration of your ancestors, which we kind of don't do a lot in America outside of like Black History Month and Founding Fathers worship. It was nice and refreshing to see just regular people being uplifted in their, passing by their family or their loved ones. Chilling out, having some churros, No, 1,000 years of bad luck. The churro family. And I've got some special churros. Unfortunately, we were way too full from breakfast to partake in the iconic historic churros, but that didn't mean we couldn't give them a little free advertising for all of their efforts. El Moro. Look at me here with Pushkin. I love your work. I'm sorry that we never got to meet. Alexander Pushkin, great Russian poet. I like his plays. Yeah, he had a lot of bad things going on, I guess, in his life, but, great art. Pushkin, R.I.P. More aesthetic pictures of Christian because at this point I'm Herbert's, and this is a Vogue editorial. We saw this adorable bookshop when we were walking, had to come inside, as of course, this relationship started in a library. That's how we met. So, and look they have hearts cut out of book pages. They have all of this stuff about like Mexican architecture, Mexican art. We found Diego Rivera books, tons of books. I would have loved to have bring some home, but since I was basically on the Mexican version of Spirit and I already had my bag, I knew that wouldn't really jive, so I had to leave them. But hopefully in the future when I go back, Francisco Gutierrez, I can get some of these books because just my goal is to have a library in my house, and why wouldn't you want a book from all of your travels? That is the point of being well traveled, like that. Cultured. Susan Howich. While walking, I was super captivated by this sculpture. It gave me Westworld vibes. Walking down toward the church and like the capital city, this giant Mexican flag. Stunning. All of this was set up specifically for the holiday. These sculptures of the sugar skulls were easily 2 stories high, maybe higher. I'm not good with measurements or anything, but you can see the stature of the people in comparison to how large they are. Every state in Mexico, because Mexico is a country, I know we talk about it monolithically like we do Africa, ignorance, has a state. And all of their state had these custom ofrenda stations representing their state and what they're known for. Be that bread, like Colima, or you can clothes, textile, some other places. That bread looked really, really good. And if I hadn't known it had been sitting outside probably for days, I might have would have took one, because why not? There were people out that were dressed up. Are you having fun?
Yes, fine.
It looks cute.
Halloween.
It's Halloween. Look at that, all that bread. I know that took hours.
All that glitter.
Outside, clearly I'm super impressed by all the bread. Some people were dressed up, this is what I'm saying. And it looked fun, like a family-friendly event. Probably, I don't know if we have a version of this in America. Like, oh, and this guy was so creepy. Look at him. He should be in a movie for sure. Whoever painted his face, 10s. This lady, I guess, reminded everybody of Coco. I haven't seen Coco. I've only seen clips, so I'm not sure, but all the kids wanted to take a picture with that lady. This is all made out of rice, beans, food. Bugs, apparently, are a delicacy, and people eat them on the street. They buy little cups, little handfuls of them. Interesting. Christian and I went into this very cool church. He wanted to get some religious items for his mom. I personally, as you know, a black person and Christian, haven't been in too many Catholic churches, so it was amazing to me. I was in awe of the money being spent, the architecture. Y'all know I love a good period film. I was obsessed with the Borgias, anything Catholic church, the new Pope. So seeing it in person, I felt like I was in one of my favorite shows. Couldn't get enough. Very ornate. I know that these churches were costing in the millions of back then's money, possibly slave labor. I don't want to point fingers, name names. They had a black Madonna, Black Mary with a little black angel under her. Very obsessed with that. But yeah, I know that these churches were not built all on the up and up. It's impossible. That's a confession booth. At first they told us we couldn't record, and then we had to sit through mass and do fake mass, and then we could record after. No disrespect to the Catholics out there, but I'm not Catholic, so I was just sitting in mass. I was not participating. I didn't even understand what they were saying. Look at all that gold. Word to Trinidad James. I'm impressed. A feast for the eyes. I got a lot of love from the Mexican men during the trip, which is kind of semi-shocking to me, because usually I only get hit on in America by like cop-looking, fireman-looking white boys and absolute criminals. So it was refreshing to be, liked by the public officials and cops and stuff in another country. I guess that's a theme for me. Whatever. I love seeing nuns out in the wild. Again, it's like I'm in one of my favorite shows, especially when they're wearing the habit. I'm intrigued. I love it. Aztec stuff going on, of course, because of the holiday, and that's just like the indigenous culture of Mexico. There was some that was kind of kitsch and funny, some that was very scary, like this man we're about to come up on right now, where he kind of came up on me and shook his little skull. I was terrified. I almost dropped my phone, but you got to keep it pushing, got to keep it playing. Over here was the more serious Aztec rituals where they're performing limpias on people, which I guess is some sort of spiritual cleansing. Again, I am more on the Beetlejuice side when it comes to spirituality and stuff. Like, if you don't believe, it can't harm you. So I don't play with things like that. Let the people that believe. at every church, when they start asking for money, it's time for me to go. So we headed down for a walk. Initially, we wanted to go to the Presidential Palace Museum that they have inside, but it was a Monday, I think, so it was closed and it didn't really work out. So we just got to walk around more and see the sights, take it all in, being in a foreign country for Halloween. This time last year, I was in a crowd full of kids at the Don Toliver concert in LA, screaming and hollering the lyrics to After Party. So look at me growing up and doing adult activities.
It's hot. I should have brought sunglasses.
It is hot. It was like breezy earlier, but now, I don't know what happened. Very impressed by all the architecture. Also very impressed by Christian's navigation skills. Because as you know, I can't get anywhere in America without Google Maps. So I damn sure can't get anywhere somewhere else.
It's the Capricorn.
Probably so, because my mom and my husband are very like navigator, Dora the Explorer. They can figure it out. And they're like, you don't need your map for this. They're like, shut up. Yes, I do. But yeah, maybe something going on with that. I would pass my own house without navigation, honestly. From a very young age, I've had the fear of being a spinster, but after my time in Mexico, I realized that maybe I'm just in the wrong country, and if that ever gets close, I could just go to Mexico. Guys out. Policia. At this point, we're walking back to the center to get an Uber back to our Airbnb so we can chill out, take a nap, and get ready for the evening. But I saw a protest. And if you know me, you know I support all people in any type of civil disobedience, civil struggle against the government, because why not? Who are they? And these people were protesting for the rights to fair wages and jobs, from what I could understand of my limited 2 years Spanish. It said trabajandos, and you see the sign. If you know Spanish, tell me what these people were upset about. But their chant was trabajandos and something about money. So I figured it was jobs and wages. And they were very organized. They were peaceful. I thought, even in the moment, like, what a brilliant idea, especially during the holiday when everybody's gonna be outside. Took the car over, and I just said we were going home, but we weren't. We were going to a museum that Christian found out about, and I'm a museum slut. I love it. Any museum, I'm there. Paintings, sculptures, I want to see it. The Mexican traffic and driving, not for the faint of heart. We're at Casa Vergon. Luis Vergon, he's an artist, and this is his home. Look at this little bench. Like, I would just be sitting here, chilling, smoking, having a good time. These little benches, I love these. I think these are called honeysuckle. And then this like shaded pathway, love that. Reflective pool, because who doesn't need to reflect?
What do you do with your flyaways?
Just be sad about them. Or brush them with hairspray. So yeah, I need to get my garden on this level. You guys have seen the land on this channel, and I'm not on his level at all. Statues. Very, very beautiful. Pottery. Steep steps. How are we supposed to get in? They're clearly inside. Is it this pink door? Let's watch this man. How's he going? So we're gonna go up these steps. Oh, it's like a very pretty terrace. Mexico. Although most things in Mexico are very casual and carefree, the museums are not. No ticket, no entry. So after we couldn't get into Louis Barragon's house, we walked around the grounds a bit more and headed back to our Airbnb, Casa Isabel. Now, I loved Casa Isabel. Very cute, nice atmosphere. Again, nice architecture. I love the courtyard. The neighborhood was cool. Convenient stuff nearby, easy to get to and from places. I guess those stairs are kind of steep, so not handicap friendly, but other than that, I would recommend. I would stay there again. Our room was cute. I loved our round shower, and then we also had an adorable terrace to go out and chill on. Very picturesque. I loved it. Downstairs. We're upstairs now. We got terrace. Super duper cute. See my car down there? Bam. Here we are on the terrace. Fun day. Couldn't get into the museum. That was kind of sad. Luis Barragan, his house, couldn't get inside. And then Frida, her house is sold out too. So I don't know what we're gonna do because that's why I wanted to come here. So we'll see. Either way, having fun.